Assalamu alaikum dear students. How are you? Fine. Thank you. How do you feel? That means, do you feel cold or do you feel hot? Hot. Why? Because it's summer season. And what about winter? Very cold. Good. That's why I have chosen a poem for you, Summer and Winter by P.B. Shelley. There is a contrast in this poem between summer and winter. You go to your book, page number 76, Summer and Winter, 10th chapter by P.B. Shelley. Shelley, he was born in 1792 and he died in 1822. He is one of the romantic poets of 19th century early, along with Wordsworth, Coleridge and Keats and Byron. Mostly he wrote lyrics and about nature, and he was a revolutionary poet also. And here you will see at the top, it's written here, the poet makes a comparison between summer and winter. So there is a contrast between summer and winter. He draws this comparison with the help of beautiful images. Imagery. Image, please write down, it's a picture created in our minds, or in our mind, with the help of words. So the poet, what a poet does, like poet is an artist like painter. Painter की तरह poet जो है ये एक artist होता है. ये हमारे mind में उसी तरह एक picture create करता है with the help of word, जिस तरह एक painter picture बनाता है with the help of brush and color. तो उसी से कुछ निकला है imagery, image से ही. So in other words, this poem is full of images, word pictures coming to your mind. जब आप इस poem को पढ़ोगे, even if you are staying now at home, this time it is summer season, when the poet will talk about winter, so winter की वो सारी images आपको इस वक्त भी सामने आएंगी. If you read this poem in winter, तो summer की सारी images आपको सामने आएंगी. जैसे आप उस वक्त फील कर रहे हो, जैसे आप hot फील कर रहे हो, तो अभी आप cold फील करोगे, और winter में अगर आप इस poem को पढ़ोगे तो you will feel hot. तो there are beautiful images. वो इसी से फिर imagery निकला है, image से. So imagery का मतलब है जब आपके सेंसेस इन्वॉल्व हो जाएंगे, सेंसेस और इन्वॉल्व, जैसे योर सेंस ऑफ साइट इज देयर, साइट, साउंड इज देयर, स्मेल इज देयर, टेस्ट इज देयर, ओके, टच इज देयर, व्हाट्स कॉल्ड एज थर्मल, एंड यू हैव ऑल्सो फील, ऑर्गेनिक इमेजरी. आप फील करते हो हार्ट में, ठीक है. सो समर इज प्रेजेंटेड एज ब्राइट एंड जॉयफुल, समथिंग लाइक when you are full of life. It symbolizes happiness, while as winter symbolizes lifelessness. Okay, you are dull and somewhat lazy, something. Okay, before we go for further discussion of the poem, let me read the poem aloud for you. You can keep the books closed or you can keep the books open, but concentrate more on listening, because poetry is basically meant to be heard. सुनने में इसको ज़्यादा मज़ा आता है बनिस्बत पढ़ने से. It was a bright and cheerful afternoon toward the end of the sunny month of June, when the north wind congregates in crowds, the floating mountains of the silver clouds from the horizon and the stillness sky opens beyond them like eternity. All things rejoiced beneath the sun, the weeds, the river, and the cornfields, and the reeds, the willow leaves that glanced in the bright breeze, and the firm foliage of the larger trees. It was a winter, such as when birds die in the deep forests, and the fishes lie stiffened in the translucent ice, which makes even the mud and slime of the warm lakes a wrinkled clod as hard as brick. And when among their children comfortable men gather about great fires and yet feel cold, alas, then for the homeless beggar old. Now, if we go to this poem, first of all, what you observe here in this poem is that we find that in this poem there is rhyme. Rhyme, twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Look at the last word. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. When the blazing sun is gone, when there nothing shines upon, then you show your little light, twinkle, twinkle all the night. So this twinkle, twinkle, little star I have, recited in front of you. तो इसके लास्ट हर एक लाइन का लास्ट वर्ड देख लीजिए. ट्विंकल ट्विंकल लिटिल स्टार, इसका हम नाम रखते हैं ए. हाउ आई वंडर व्हाट यू आर, अगेन ए. लाइक ए डायमंड, हाउ up over the world so high, B. Like a diamond in the sky, B. When the blazing sun is gone, C. When there nothing shines upon, C. Then you show your little light, D. Twinkle, twinkle all the night. So I can say that this rhyme has the rhyme scheme of A, B, B, C, C, D, D. So क्या है कि आखिरी वाला जो वर्ड है लाइन में वो राइम किसके साथ करता है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल हियर यू हैव फर्स्ट लाइन लास्ट वर्ड आफ्टरनून. Afternoon. So you have second line June. So they rhyme. You have the word crowds. It goes with clouds. You have the word weeds. It goes with reeds. Only these two lines don't rhyme. You have sky and then you have eternity. Then there you have breeze. You have trees. You have die, lie, makes, lakes, when, men, cold, old. So these are rhyming words. So in other words, every two lines are rhyming except the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th and 6th line. So there is perfect, there is rhyme in this poem. What does rhyme do? Rhyme makes a poem, it makes a poem musical. So this is a musical poem, Summer and Winter. It's melodious, full of rhythm. And then there is imagery, particularly imagery of sight, that is visual imagery. We call it visual. And then there is also, touch imagery. For example, cold and hot. And you have also feel imagery. For example, alas, alas. Then for the homeless beggar old. So there is feel imagery. You feel for the old beggar, Now look, first of all, let us have a look at visual images in the poem. Visual is when you can see in your mind, even if you don't see in front of you. For example, bright and cheerful afternoon. For example, in this season, we have bright sun and then we have cheerful afternoon. Then we have sunny, when the sun is shining. Crowds, number of people together. Mountains, clouds in the sky. horizon where the sky seems to meet the earth. Even it can be mountain, it can be water. Stainless sky, clear blue sky. The sun, the weeds, the river, the corn fields, full of corn, crops. The reeds, the willow leaves. Willow जो है इसको कश्मीर में बोलते हैं वीर, मतलब विरकुल. Foliage, that is the leaves, पत्ते बड़े बड़े broad. Trees, you can see in your mind. Birds, forests, fishes. You see, fish singular and fish plural. If you say one fish, you say 5 fish. But the word fishes plural means different kinds of fish. For example, I'll give us 2 sentences. The fisherman caught 10 fish. Okay, there are many fishes in the Dal Lake. That means many kinds of fish. Then you have ice. Okay, then you have the mud, slime, clod, brick, children, fires, beggar. These are the visual images here in this poem. Now, if we look at this word ice, so in winter you must have put ice on your palm sometimes, or you must have put your hand on ice. It's very cold. Okay, ice, yuck. Ice, warm lakes, यानी वो lakes जो थोड़ा गर्म हो, warm lakes. So if you put your hand in water, you can find whether it is warm, whether it is lukewarm, whether it is hot, whether it is cold. And cold, feel cold. These are touch images. For example, touching images, feel cold, warm lakes, ice. And of course there is feel imagery, which I told you in the end, the last line of the poem, alas then for the homeless beggar old. Now let us have a discussion. I will just read it. मैं आपके लिए थोड़ा सा इसको इंग्लिश में करूंगा तर्जमा. आप देखिए, तो ये जो poem जो है Summer and Winter, the poet says that in the month of June the beautiful clouds and the sky appear beautiful. The wind from the north soothes the aching nerves. It appears as if the sun and the clouds are full of joy. All the things on earth shine out. Greenery is seen everywhere. The river flows quietly at some places and noisily at others, but speaks only of the pleasure which it experiences every time in summer. The fields with corn keep smiling and refreshing the minds of bypassers who look at them. The reeds, reed, it's written here, page number 77, a type of tall city plant like grass growing together in groups near water. In olden days, students used to make pens of it. इसे कलम बनाते थे. एक किस्म का एक समझो आप वो जो मकई का वो पौधा था, ऐसे ही होता था वो, उसको बोलते नर का कलम. तो वो रीड वो होता है. And then the reeds, the willow leaves and the foliage of the larger trees shine out in the months of summer and exemplify the naturalistic style of providing solace to the crowded, to the troubled minds. Everything under the sun, and the sun is shining in the sky, under the sun, appears lively and joyous, and thereby a symbol of internal beauty is there. Winter, on the other hand, reduces the horizon of living creatures. It represents death, the death of many beautiful birds and migration of many others, which cannot resist the bitter chill in the deep forests. Aquatic life, aquatic, relating to water. Aquatic life is also badly affected. Fishes freeze in waters because the water turns into ice as the temperature lowers in winter. Even the mud and slime of the warm lakes turn into a hard lump like that of a brick. Many living creatures find it difficult to survive in the bitter cold. I told you in the beginning that there is contrast in this poem. दो टाइप के कंट्रास्ट हैं. एक आप देखिए टाइटल में, एक साइड से समर सीजन है एंड विंटर, टोटल अपोजिट. In winter you have very cold, in summer you have very hot. In winter you have dull life, in summer you have, full of joy and, pleasant life and everything going on normally. And in winter you have cold, in this season you have ice, here you don't have ice, here you have, short days, here you have long days, total opposite. And then there is also a contrast in the last three lines of the poem. Here the poet makes a marked contrast between the rich and the poor. However warm the rich and their children are, they would never give up complaining about the cold. In spite of all the facilities, हम क्या करते हैं rich people, हम बोलते हैं कि मतलब ये फिर भी सर्दी है. But the poor neither complain nor they find the comforting place to escape the freezing cold. वो कंप्लेन करने के बाद करेंगे भी क्या? So there is contrast in this poem. Then there are three similes. Simile? Simile means a comparison. Simile. A comparison made between two dissimilar things using like, as if, etc. It's a comparison between two dissimilar things, making use of as if, like, or as. For example, here I will write, here I will make you understand through an example written by Sarojini Naidu in one of her poems, Coromandel Fishers. She says, the wind lies asleep. The wind lies asleep in the arms of the dawn. In the arms of the dawn. Dawn, early morning. सुबह जब सूरज चढ़ता है ना, उसको बोलते हैं dawn, opposite of dusk, sunset. Like a child that has cried all night. These are two lines. The wind lies asleep in the arms of the dawn, like a child that has cried all night. The wind, air in motion, lies asleep, यानी जैसे सोया है. तो जब ये पॉइंट इस तरह से बात करेगा कि किसी लाइफलेस या नॉन ह्यूमन बीइंग को ह्यूमन क्वालिटीज के दे देगा, एट्रीब्यूट्स, वी कॉल दैट पर्सोनिफिकेशन. जैसे इस पोएम में पर्सोनिफाई किया गया है नॉर्थ विंड को. द नॉर्थ विंड कॉन्ग्रेगेट्स इन क्राउड्स. जैसे विंड कोई लोग हो और वो क्राउड्स में आ रहे हैं, तो इसका मतलब है कि यहां पर जो विंड है, इट हैज बीन पर्सोनिफाइड. personified. Somebody asleep in the arms of the dawn. dawn के बाहों में. तो यहां पर dawn को भी किया गया है personified. Remember it. जैसे dawn अर्ली मॉर्निंग कोई इंसान हो जिसकी बाहें हैं. Like a child. This is a simile. एक बच्चे की तरह, उस बच्चे की तरह, एक उस बच्चे की तरह. Like a child that has cried all night. जो रात भर रोता रहा हो और सुबह वो सो गया हो किसकी आगोश में, किसकी बाहों में? यस, मां की। तो इसका मतलब है कि डॉन इज मदर हियर, तो दैट इज मेटाफर। तो इसको हम बोलेंगे यहां पर मेटाफर यूज हुआ है, डॉन को यूज किया है मदर के लिए। और विंड जो है ये कौन है? चाइल्ड है। तो इसका मतलब है कि ये भी यहां पर मेटाफर ही यूज हुआ है। विंड किसके लिए यूज हुआ है? यस, चाइल्ड के लिए। सो विंड इज हियर चाइल्ड, डॉन इज हियर मदर, लाइक ए चाइल्ड। सो वो दैट मीन्स यहां पर पर्सोनिफाई किया गया है विंड को, इसको बच्चा बनाया गया है। पर्सोनिफाई किया गया है डॉन को, इसको मदर बनाया गया है। इस पॉइंट में आप देखिए, आई विल रीड इट फॉर यू। When the north wind congregates in crowds, so north wind is coming in, gathering like a crowd. So it is a personification here. And then यहां पर ये बोल रहा है the willow leaves, पत्ते, that glanced, वो देख रहे थे in the light breeze. So glanced, they were looking, they had look. So that means again is personification here. They have been personified. Then you have here first simile. In the first stanza there are two stanzas. First stanza is of 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 lines, and second stanza is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 lines. So there are 18 lines. So in the first stanza the first simile is like eternity. Eternity, जिसका कोई एंड नहीं है, infinity. Like, openness like eternity. It's a simile. Okay? So like eternity means the floating mountains of the silver clouds from the horizon where the sky seems to meet the earth or the mountain. Then we have another simile in the second stanza, such as when birds die. Such as when birds die. And then we have another in the second stanza, as hard as brick. Okay. Now please you can now easily give me answer to this question. What do the opening lines of the poem describe? Yes. So the opening lines that describe the environment of liveliness and happiness, bright afternoon, sunny. And what is the effect of the shining sun on the objects of nature? They look beautiful. They look, they have developed mesmerizing beauty. How is the winter described in the poem? Good. Winter, the poem is described as ruthless, lazy and dullness. There is lot of cold is there and dull life is there. Explain the following lines. All things besides these three lines. It means that all the things under the sun, the reeds, the willow leaves, the foliage of larger trees, and the sun, the river, cornfields, they look very beautiful, and they are enjoying. They are happy. How does the poem end? The poem ends sadly. It ends on a pessimistic note, because the poet says here, alas then for the homeless beggar old. So it's very very pathetic here. And now rhyming words, I told you that rhyming words are there, and then you can do them. And you can also get many nouns and many adjectives from these two stanzas. Many nouns. Mountains are there, sky is there, eternity is there, weeds is there, reeds, fields, river, breeze, trees, foliage, birds, fishes. So it's very. And now my advice to you is to read the poem silently, and then if you read it again and again, you can remember the whole poem by heart and enjoy it. Stay home, stay blessed. Thank you very much. Thank you.